I don't even know how I'm going to start this. Okay. Okay. 3, 2. Hi guys, my name is Carmen, and today I'm going to be talking about my newest piercing that I got about 4 weeks ago. So what I got, if you can see the little ring in there, it's called a doth piercing, or Dave. I asked my piercer. Some people say it totally differently, but both ways are 100% correct. So I'm going to be taking you through how I clean it and some of the tips that I've learned. So what I have with me is my piercing spray, which is it's sea salt body piercing spray. And they give this to you when you're there. It comes totally free with the piercing. I got mine done at Prism Jewelry, where I got my cartilage done too around a year ago. I have some Q-tips and a sterile pad that they also give me. And then to make things a little bit easier for you, I would also recommend grabbing a towel. And while I clean this, I'm gonna run you over it and talk about why I got it. So first of all, I always give this little shake. I don't know if you're technically supposed to or not, but it doesn't really hurt it. Then I spray right in my ear, and this is where the towel is great. So you wipe it off a little bit, kind of let it sit. While this sits, I'm going to talk to you about why I got the piercing. So I have my flat right here, which if you don't know what a flat is, it's just like this little inside piece of cartilage in your ear. It's a super common piercing. The healing was amazing. It only took about 7 or 8 months, which is pretty average for any sort of cartilage piercing. But I will say the pain was a little bit on the higher scale. Now, typically when you Google piercing pain scales, all of them are different. Everyone has a different pain tolerance. I would say I have a pretty high pain tolerance, and it was a really sharp pain, unlike this one, which was really dull. I have these double piercings as well, so I don't have many piercings yet. I plan on getting more, but this is just solely based off my experience. None of my friends have this doth piercing, so I did a lot of research into it on if I should get it, if it's a good piercing, if it heals well, and what I learned is that it does heal fairly easily if you clean it properly. So after this spray has set for a little bit, you're gonna take, it comes in a pack of 2, your sterile pads, and you're gonna take one of these and then just kind of spray it lightly with the spray. And then I fold it up like this and stick it in my ear and like clean off the jewelry. And this is good for it because my piercer says that the #1 rule when you get this done is you don't want to touch it. Like, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. You just want to keep the earring itself clean. You don't necessarily need to clean off like the scabs or anything that comes out of like where you were pierced, because that's the body healing it the natural way. Another tip that I learned from a friend of mine is that once you wash your hair or do anything where your ear is wet, you should just take like a blow dryer on a light setting and blow dry it off so that it's safe and clean. Now after I wipe the inside of that, I like to spray it again, and then of course tap your ear. While I was doing research into this piercing, I learned that some people have reported that it helps their headaches, migraines, anything of that sort. Now there isn't any actual research done into that statement. It's just people's opinions, and there's been tons of people that said that it was great. I suffer from migraines quite frequently, so I thought this couldn't really hurt anything if I try it. I'm 4 weeks post, and I have had 1 migraine, which is pretty good for me, and I can say it's shorter than my normal ones were. I don't know, maybe it'll help more in the future, or it'll just reduce the frequency of migraines. I haven't had it long enough to tell, but right now it's doing great. After that, I take a Q-tip and just some of the spray it on. I didn't show it very well because I was spraying it on my towel, just to make sure that it doesn't get all over the place. And then I just take the top and slightly run over it, and then the bottom, just to make sure that it's all nice and clean. Let that sit for a little bit, and then I'll do it again. But otherwise, when I did a lot of research into this piercing, it said that the pain was anywhere between like an 8 and a 9. And I personally wouldn't say that that's super accurate. Like I said before, I have a super high pain tolerance. I don't know what I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't this. When I got it done, my piercer told me, take a big breath, and I took a big breath and just kind of held it for a little bit, and then he counted down 1, 2, 3, and then what the needle went through. It didn't really feel like a lot of pain. I've been told that some people hear a pop when it goes through cartilage because it's so close to your ear. I didn't hear a pop. I didn't hear a crunch or anything. It just felt like a lot of pressure, and then the pressure was relieved when the needle was gone. Then for about 30 to 45 seconds, there's a little tube in your ear, which sounds gross and scary, but I promise it isn't. And then the jewelry slides through, he clips it together, and it's all done. I would say the most uncomfortable part was the part where the tube was in my ear before the jewelry, which I did. I asked around to a couple of my friends, and they also said that that is what they experience when they've just gotten any type of piercing in their cartilage or anywhere. Now, like I said before, everybody's pain tolerance is different. If you have a super low pain tolerance, there are piercings that are easier. I've heard that up here around like the outside of your ear is easy. I wouldn't recommend the inside on your first go around, but if you have a high pain tolerance and you think you'll be okay, then I would totally recommend it. My healing process with my days so far has been okay. It's a lot different than this. So I'm gonna take this again one more time, and we're gonna spray it and then wipe it over just once again. So when I first got it done, I thought it was fine, and then I started to get really bad like pain radiating down my jaw. I was worried. I was really worried. But then I looked and I realized that just because my piercing is so close to like my jaw, that the pain would radiate down, and that is just typical. So I learned some more about that. Took some ibuprofen, and I had to take ibuprofen for about 2 days. And then after that, it's been totally fine. And technically, you're not supposed to sleep on this. Mine has so little pain now that I am able to sometimes sleep on it because it's so far in my ear that it doesn't hurt. So that is lovely. Like I said before, I would 100% recommend this piercing. Maybe not as a beginner piercing, maybe as an intermediate or one of your last piercings, but it was amazing. I would also recommend going through a place that's a professional piercer instead of doing it yourself because it's so far in your ear. I know people that have done piercings all over the place by themselves and have had great experience with it, but I have super sensitive ears and super sensitive to different kinds of metal, and so going through a professional piercer was something that definitely helped me more. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to reach out to me or to any professional piercer in the Des Moines area, and I know that most of them are more than happy to just answer your questions. And also, I got most of my research off TikTok. I wouldn't do that. I would go on actual pages. Blogs are great ideas if they are someone reliable and trustworthy. Like, there's some beauty blogs that do piercing reviews, and they are amazing and fairly accurate for the most part. There are also just some great people that make vlogs about this or do anything on YouTube. You just have to be careful about the information that you're reading, the information that you're absorbing. So I hope you all have a wonderful day and have a great experience with all of your piercings.